Hello and welcome back to another lazy lesson. Nearly after 2 years and 10 months, the opposition has finally woken up to the perils of the electoral bonds. The recent disclosures on electoral bonds raise troubling questions. So in today's discussion, we shall understand more about electoral bonds, the latest revelations, concerns over the scheme, and the need for money in elections. But before going further, let us try and understand more about electoral bonds, how they operate, and who is eligible for funding. In 2017, the government unveiled a new method of funding for political parties that it claimed would bring about greater transparency and accountability. And the funding under new method was through electoral bonds. In simple terms, electoral bonds function like gift vouchers. Anyone can buy them from the State Bank of India and hand them over to a political party of their choice without having to attach a name to the bond. The parties which received these bonds can then encash those for money. These bonds are similar to banknotes that are payable to the bearer on demand and are free of interest. And later on, the government came out with a set of rules around their sale. That is, these bonds can only be bought with cheque or digital transfer. The bonds will be issued in multiples of rupees 1000, that is 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh or 1 crore. And these bonds could only be issued by the State Bank of India, that too at selected branches only. Besides, when the scheme was announced in 2017, the bonds were only supposed to be available in 4 10-day windows throughout the year. Now, can all the parties receive funding under the scheme? The answer is no, because there are certain eligibility conditions. First of them all is, the party should be registered under Section 29A of the Representation of People Act. Secondly, the party should have secured at least 1% of the votes polled in the most recent general elections or assembly elections. The latest revelations about the working of the scheme has raised concerns among many people. Firstly, BJP was the biggest beneficiary of the scheme, bagging nearly 95% of the bonds. And the second allegation here is that the scheme was actually misused by the ruling party, that is BJP. The ruling party actually broke down the rules in 2018 when 5 assembly elections were held. The bonds were originally to be sold only 4 times a year. However, during 2018, this period was extended many a times. Next issue is about the traceability of these bonds. See, these bonds were supposed to be untraceable. However, a 2018 investigation revealed that they actually carry an alphanumeric code which can be seen under ultraviolet light. It has now been revealed that SBI does use the alphanumeric code to keep a track of who bought how many bonds and the political party to whom the bond was eventually donated. And the next revelation is that the suggestions made by the Reserve Bank of India and Election Commission were ignored. The RBI had observed that the introduction of these bonds would set a bad precedent, since it would allow for money laundering and undermine trust in banknotes. And despite this criticism, the Finance Ministry said that the RBI has not understood the mechanism of electoral bonds and it would still go forward with the scheme. Here, Reserve Bank's main concern was that electoral bonds issued by the State Bank would undermine the central bank's role as issuer of currency. And it also felt that the process was fraught with considerable risk. RBI had actually demanded 2 reforms. Firstly, instead of SBI, the RBI itself wanted to issue these bonds. And in addition, it wanted the bonds to be digital rather than physical. However, these suggestions were not received by the Finance Ministry. It has also been revealed that the Election Commission was actually misled on the scheme. It is being said that the government did not give the full picture of how electoral bonds would actually be used while explaining the scheme to the Election Commission, and ultimately, Election Commission did not agree to endorse these bonds. But however, in 2018, the government had told the Parliament that it did not receive any concerns from Election Commission on the issue of electoral bonds. Now let us look at some of the biggest concerns this scheme has given rise to. First concern is about the increased money laundering. Opponents argue that since the identity of the donor has been kept anonymous, it could lead to an influx of black money and ultimately result in increased money laundering. And the concept of donor anonymity threatens the very spirit of democracy here. And next, under the scheme, Indian, foreign and even shell companies can donate to political parties without having to inform anyone of the contribution. There is a concern that the black money can be routed into elections through shell companies. Next concern is that the scheme was brought about without any consultation with the public, and even suggestions made by various political opposition parties were also dismissed. And the last concern is about its misuse. The ruling party, with the help of issuer, can get to know the details about the donor. And to address these concerns, the Supreme Court in April 2019 had made the following two suggestions. Firstly, it had asked all the political parties to submit the details of donations to Election Commission in sealed covers, and next to reduce the window of purchasing period from the current 10 days to 5 days. Why do we need these bonds, or more precisely, why do we need money in elections? The main reason is that in the 21st century, money plays an increasingly larger role in elections. This was not so about 50 years ago. Today, India spends more on elections than the US, with a per capita GDP that is 3% of the US. Today, having more money does not guarantee success, but at the other extreme, having no money certainly guarantees defeat. Therefore, we need to look at the issue of electoral bonds in this context, that is, the importance, the need for funding and proper laws. Even a glance at the best international laws and rules shows that we in India are lagging far behind. The gaps between the stated purpose of the electoral bond scheme and the letter of law are glaring, and several articles in media have pointed them out. So it is time for the government to address these concerns and take forward the scheme. To address these concerns, some of these remedies have been suggested by experts. Firstly, it is complete transparency in all funding, and next, political parties need to be under the Right to Information Act completely, and lastly, we need more voter awareness campaigns. Now, based on today's discussion, let us try and solve a question from prelims perspective. Consider the following statements. The electoral bond scheme was introduced in 2014. Second statement, only the registered political parties which have secured not less than 1% of the votes polled in the last Lok Sabha elections or state legislative assembly are eligible to receive the electoral bonds. Which of the above statements is or are correct? You can comment your answers in the comment section below. And from mains perspective, try and answer the following question, that is, what is electoral bond scheme and why there is a controversy surrounding it? Discuss. You can post your answers in the comment section below.